Alright guys, so our robot is almost done. We see the whole shape, it looks really good. We're gonna add some more details. So right now we're gonna create the board that's on his chest. So we're gonna go ahead, go into front view, add a cube, go to edit mode and scale it down, move it upwards, and I'm gonna scale it more. Now I'm gonna go into X-ray mode, scale it there. Now I will scale it in the Z axis, go up maybe a bit more and put it in place. Now I'm gonna go into side view and I'm gonna scale this a lot, something like that, and I'll see it's kind of good. This is just very basic. In this case I'm gonna just rotate it as needed, put it back, and I think that's alright. In this case we won't be needing to add a modifier because it's very simple. It's a very simple shape. We don't need more detail, we don't need more subdivisions. We're gonna keep it as basic as possible. I'm just gonna move this a bit to the back and rotate it a bit, just so I know it's supposed to fit here, but I think it's way too much, so I'm gonna leave it like that. There we go. We have the base of our board. Now I'm gonna create all of the buttons that are right here. So I'm gonna go into edit mode. Again, let's see what we need. We need three like cubes, actually 4 cubes and 2 cylinders. So let's do that. We're gonna add first our cube, scale it down, move it upwards. This is just like the routine. I'm gonna actually bring it forward because I can see. Now I'm gonna go into X-ray mode, scale it down to the height I need. Now I'm gonna scale it in the x-axis. I'm gonna put it in place there, and we cannot see them here, so we're gonna figure out where they are. So I'm gonna scale it in the y-axis, put it really thin. Now I'm gonna bring them back and I'm gonna rotate it the same angle as the board, and I'm gonna push them in. Alright, so we'll see in front view. It looks good. Alright, so now what I'm gonna do is right here in edit mode, I'm gonna duplicate this and move it to the side. So let's do that. With everything selected, I press Shift D and I just press X to move it to the side, and I'll keep it there. Now I'm gonna press Shift D again and press X to move it to the side, and there we go. We have our 3 buttons. I don't know if they're buttons or slides, I don't know. You can imagine whatever you want. There we go. So now we're gonna create another cube, which is this right here that we see here. So let's add another cube. Actually, no, yes, I'm gonna add another cube. Alright, so Shift A, cube, and I'll scale this down, move it upwards, move it to the front, scale this more, go into front view, scale it as needed, place it where it needs to be, maybe scale it more. That's alright. Now I will bring this here. I'm gonna scale it in the y-axis, and now I'm gonna rotate it maybe more, something like that, and then we're gonna place it on the same level as the other buttons. So let's leave that there, and now we're going to create the other buttons right here, which are going to be cylinders. So let's go ahead and add a cylinder right here. It's already with 8 vertices. Remember to keep it at 8 vertices. We don't need more than this. edit mode, scale it down, move it forward, and we need to fix the geometry. That's the thing I don't like about cylinders, that we need to fix the geometry all the time, but it's the best we can have right now. Okay, so let's add this cut right here, this cut right here, and then at the bottom, remember to do it at the bottom as well, it's very important. So press enter, and then here to here, press enter. There we go. So now we can scale it down, rotate it in the y-axis 90 degrees. Oh no, sorry, rotate it in the x-axis 90 degrees, scale it down, move it to where it needs to be, there, and on this side we're gonna bring it here, scale it on the y-axis, something like that, and we're actually gonna create 2 loop cuts at the edges so that when we add the subdivision modifier, we don't mess it up, we don't mess the shape. Right here, remove it, there we go. So now I'm gonna add the modifier, which is the subdivision surface, and we have a button. So I'm gonna shade smooth, right, I think I can put it at 2 so it looks better, yeah. And then I will place it where it needs to be, so I'll rotate it like there and just push it back. Maybe this could be a little bit there. There we go. So now inside this object, into edit mode, we're gonna select everything and we're gonna duplicate it. So we're gonna press Shift T and we're gonna move it in the Z axis. And now we're gonna move it forward because it's now hidden there. And here we're gonna try to scale it to this shape right here. So we're gonna scale it down and scale it on the x-axis. Let's see. Yeah, I think it looks nice. All right. So now we have all of our buttons. I'm actually gonna join. No, I'm gonna keep them like that. If I join this, for example, with this, nothing will happen. It's gonna stay all right. But if I join any of this geometry with this geometry, this geometry might be affected by the modifier that I have right here, and we don't want that. Unless you apply this modifier first, you can join the objects. Otherwise, it's not recommended because then we will have more geometry here that we don't need, or we can miss the geometry that we added with the subdivision modifier right here. So keep that in mind. We can join these two if you'd like. I won't do that. But yeah, if you have any modifier actually on any object, you cannot join an object that doesn't have the modifier. Otherwise, it's gonna be affected as well. Alright, so we have our board. In the next video, we're gonna finish our robot with the last details. So I'll see you guys there.